This is my mom, Dulce, and my sister, Clara. And this crowd is my dad's side of the family. My dad, Luis, his wife, Marise, and my three sisters, Julia, Luisa, and Clara again. They live in Brazil, my wife and I live in Canada, so there was absolutely no way that we would be able to see them for the holidays this year. So I gave them a call because I wanted to ask them what they remember about me from back when my obsession with Pokemon began, so like 20 years ago. And what is it, Luisa? This isn't a classroom.
Tô mal acostumada.
Posso ir no banheiro?
A gente vai responder em português, só pra já...
Português eu tenho que traduzir, né? Mas eu acho que fica melhor, mais natural pra quem aí não tem tanto domínio assim do inglês.
Talvez eu falando em inglês você tenha que traduzir também, né?
But at least with my mom and Clara, we can do this in English. And I believe my mom was the one who gave me my first Game Boy Color and Pokemon Yellow.
Take the credit, Mom.
Sure, obviously.
I remember what it looked like. It was purple, right?
Yeah, that's right.
I do remember that.
You're doing better than I am. Knowing me, I probably was not giving you a electronic game unless I felt that this was something that you really, really wanted. But my memory is more that you were the one putting the money together to buy all of your Pokemon stuff, but maybe not the first one, so I'm not sure. Maybe you asked me for it as a Christmas gift or a birthday gift?
Eu acho que eu lembro que você juntou dinheiro para comprar, não o primeiro, algum próximo mais desenvolvido.
Yeah, because I remember that being a big thing. It was like, I really want the advanced, and like the Game Boy Color was becoming outdated and the new games didn't come out for the Game Boy Color. So I remember that for sure.
Não foi esse dinheiro que a Luísa jogou.
A Luísa jogou dinheiro pela janela?
Eu joguei. É porque o dinheiro do João sumiu, inexplicavelmente.
I should clarify that João is my name. But yeah, apparently nobody knows for sure where my first system and game came from.
Eu lembro do segundo, do primeiro eu não me lembro, não.
Mas deixa eu só esclarecer uma coisa. Um dinheiro do João sumiu e vocês culparam a Luísa, é isso?
Não, um dinheiro
bacana,
do João
bacana.
O dinheiro do João sumiu, aí ficou mó, que na cima, o que foi, quem foi, alguém pegou, não pegou. E depois de, não sei porquê, algumas acariações, investigações e inquéritos e tal, a conclusão foi que a Luísa poderia ter lançado pela janela, como era hábito dela fazer com algumas coisas.
Foi a época de jogar coisas da janela.
A Luísa jogou o telefone sem fio aqui por essa janela.
Não, foi por essa.
Gente,
Foi essa.
Não, gente, seu Severino pegou o telefone sem fio todo desbreguetado.
Foco no tema do vídeo. Foca no tema do vídeo. Pokémon. Eu nunca joguei Pokémon pela janela, tá, gente? Então segue aí. A revista do Pokémon, você nunca jogou pela janela? Eu joguei.
No, she didn't. It's fine. But let's get back to the topic at hand, okay?
The yellow one is definitely the one I most remember. Like from the... How do you say that? Like cartucho?
Cartridge.
Cartouche? People say that?
Cartridge.
Cartouche.
I remember this yellow cartridge a lot. I don't remember buying it, but I remember that for sure. And one thing that I was thinking, Joe, is that I could totally think of me saying, really, João, you want to spend all this money on this thing? Are you sure? It's your money, man. So, yeah.
I had forgotten that there were like 3 handheld devices that you had. So like, or maybe I'm still missing one, but it was the Pokemon Color, then the Game Boy Advance, and then the DS. I had forgotten about that one. Do you remember, Mom? Like these 3 models? Like this, yeah?
I'm trying to remember, like the purple one I can't visualize. The other ones I can. Like, especially the DS. when you mentioned it, I was like, yes, I remember that.
Eu lembro muito mais do Nintendo do que do Game Boy.
Eu diria que a única coisa que eu tenho qualquer tipo de lembrança é a gente jogando naquele tapete empoeirado, eu morrendo de espirrar depois. Mas...
O Game Boy eu lembro que existia, eu lembro que você jogava, eu lembro de jogar de vez em nunca, mas não era uma coisa que você deixava jogar porque não salvava a fita, e aí salvava por cima do seu e não deixava. Eu sei que o Nintendo dava pra jogar, porque aí a gente jogava joguinho avulso.
I remember how good you were at like certain games. Like you were really good at the egg catching one.
E aí eu lembro de algum momento da vida que eu fiquei tão boa quanto você no joguinho do ovo. E você ficou muito puta. E a gente começou a jogar e eu ganhava de você. Eu via o olhar de raiva. Você está ganhando de mim.
And then I remember us like at your place before your wedding, like playing with our sisters and stuff like that.
And that time, Julia not only beat me at the Chansey game, she won almost every game and took home the minigame tournament.
Porque depois que você foi embora também eu joguei com a Luísa um tempo, né, Lu? A gente
eu ia falar, e eu me lembro que era uma pedra no sapato, ter que gastar 15 minutos assoprando o negócio pra ele funcionar. Não, vai de novo. Assopra. Finalmente falava Pikachu, sei lá o que ele falava. Aí funcionava. Lembro também que eu tinha preferência muito grande pelo console azul.
A few years later, after a visit to Brazil, I brought the Nintendo 64 back to Canada with me so that I could play it. Although the system itself that I use now is a newer one that I bought off of eBay because the trouble that I was having to turn the old one on was not worth it. This one turns on much more easily. It still gives me grief sometimes, but nothing nearly as bad as the previous one. Pokémon Stadium 2 was such a major unifying force in that household that even my dad played it.
Aquele joguinho dos ovos e principalmente o jogo do cara que cortava a madeirinha assim.
Esse jogo é mó bom.
Esse eu lembro do joguinho que algumas poucas vezes eu tentei, mas eu sempre perdi feio de todo mundo.
Nesse você era boa, nesse você era boa.
Nesse eu era boa. É verdade, só isso.
The Nintendo 64, although it lived at my dad's place, it was actually my mom that got it for me. She bought it secondhand off of one of her students.
Sounds familiar with you saying that.
All right, well, I'm certain that that's what it was. The weird thing, though, is that for a long time, I don't think I had any games for the N64 besides 007 GoldenEye, which my mom's student included with the system, but that I had barely any interest in. One of my friends, when he visited, played it way more than I ever did.
Yeah, it is weird, but maybe it was something that you wanted the game because you were going to buy the games. You know, you wanted the system because you were going to buy the games. You were very convincing, persistent, stubborn. I don't know, call it whatever you want. But like I said, you were really good at saving money to buy your stuff. And you probably, what I imagine is that this was way above your league in terms of putting the money together to buy it. But you could buy the games. The only explanation I could see for something like that would be you pushing me to get this game. The opportunity came up. It wasn't as expensive because it was secondhand. I had a student selling it. You really wanted it, and I probably said, okay, I'll give you the system, but the games are on you. And then it took you a little longer than you expected to get the games. I don't know.
And that's very possible. I've definitely bought many games with my own allowance, including Pokémon Stadium 2. Marise, my stepmom, she used to be a flight attendant, so she had lots of trips to the United States where she could buy this kind of thing easily and avoid the import taxes that are ridiculous and inflate the price of games in Brazil.
No tempo do voo, era muito fácil, o dólar era barato, né? Eu tinha essa facilidade. E eu tava sempre que eu tava fora, eu tava olhando alguma coisa que interessasse para um, para outro e tal. E assim, não tem a menor dúvida de que meu olho para você era sempre assim, o que tem aqui de Pokémon pro João, né? Podia ser um Pikachu, um game, ou o que fosse, mas o olho era procurando até hoje, João, até hoje. Se eu tô passando assim alguma coisa na internet, aparece um Pokémon, será que entrega no Canadá?
But Pokemon Stadium 2 was definitely my own money. But the other possibility when it comes to the N64 is that I was renting games.
I also remember that recently, the game toy game. It was a toy store, and then on the second floor there was like a really good video, how do you say that, renting place.
And not just video rentals, but video game rentals too. And being a toy store, it also had Pokemon games and Pokemon cards for sale and all kinds of things like that.
João, essa loja, ela faz parte da sua história como um divisor de águas. Ela foi a primeira, coisa na sua vida que fez você tomar duas decisões que eu sei que foram difíceis para você, mas que foram assim marcos. Uma vez a gente voltando de algum lugar lá para Botafogo, você pediu pra gente deixar você no shopping Tijuca ali para vir embora para casa sozinho. Foi a primeira vez. Foi essa loja que fez você tomar essa decisão. E a outra foi você sair daqui de casa sozinho, de ônibus, pegar um ônibus, ir para a Praça Sanspen, ir para o Shopping Tijuca sozinho. Foi para ir nessa loja.
Que legal.
Então, você tá no Canadá hoje por causa dessa loja.
Yeah, I hated taking the bus, so that was definitely a big change.
Foi a evolução do Pokémon, João.
Let me ask you a question, Clara.
Yes.
Do you recall, like at the time, do you think you enjoyed Pokemon as much as João did?
I don't think it was as much. Like, I wasn't drawn to buying the magazines. Like, I didn't want to have the games. I really enjoyed, I think we might have enjoyed the anime as much, like the same, for some time. But I think my thing was more with the anime. Like, I had some cards, but like it wasn't a thing, you know, like I had them and I don't know, like I thought they were cool, but it wasn't my thing. But the anime I did really like. I liked it. And we had, and that's one thing too that I was thinking about. I think maybe Mom doesn't have as many memories because we watched the anime only at my dad's because our mom didn't have cable, and the Pokemon Stadium was at my dad's. So there was more elements of the universe were like at my dad's house. I think I actually remember I was gonna say plenty, but now I don't know. I remember like the main characters. I remember Ash and Misty and Brock, and I remember their adventures, but I couldn't necessarily tell you one. I remember the controversial episodes that didn't air in Brazil, that I remember very clearly. There was one where Jessie was dressed as a girl and then that didn't show in Brazil or something like that.
I think you mean James.
Oh, James! Sorry. And actually, I remember reading about that in the Pokémon Club in your magazine. Because there was that one and there was the other one with the light strobe or something with Polygon. That people, I don't even know if this is true, but what we would say as children was that people in Japan had died from watching this. And then because it was banned, people were looking it up and trying to find it, and it was dangerous. I remember that feeling. It was this thing that can't be watched. In my mind, it's Porygon had this magic power to cause seizures, in kids. Porygon was definitely very powerful. But can it be found? Can I watch it if I want to watch it?
Well, I think
we should do a watch and react for your channel. Invite me. I'll watch it.
Well, If you want to see Clara and I react to the banned Porygon episode, you let me know. But although the anime was another thing that brought me and Clara and Julia together, I can't say our parents were on the same boat. Not because they didn't watch the anime with us, but because they did take us to watch Mewtwo Strikes Back in theaters.
Pra mim, a coisa mais impressionante é que o filme era totalmente impossível de identificar qualquer tipo de enredo. Começo, meio, fim, pé, cabeça, lado direito, lado esquerdo. Eu fiquei muito revoltado de ter que acompanhar e ver aquele filme que não dava pra entender nada de nada. Não conseguia entender como alguém fazia um filme como aquele. Eu fiquei muito impressionado, muito revoltado. Como era possível ter gente pra ir ao cinema pra ver aquilo? Era muito sem nexo, nada. Não conseguia perceber um fiozinho de meada.
When it came time for the power of one, they took us, but they didn't stay.
Provavelmente a gente não deva ter ido ao segundo, porque o trauma do primeiro, como você pode perceber, persiste até hoje.
Gente, mas eu lembro desse filme ser tão bom, ele era ruim.
Olha, agora uma coisa impressionante.
Eu lembrava dele ser legal.
I don't know if I would say that it was good, but it's definitely much easier to follow if you have a working knowledge of Pokémon.
Eu lembro que também me impressionava muito a questão dos personagens terem tantos e tantos nomes muito parecidos e aquela história de como vocês conseguiam entender a lógica de não fulano é a evolução do fulano, mas evoluiu para a direita, evoluiu para a esquerda, mas também retroagiu, vai para lá, vai para cá, passa acima, dependendo do estágio, volta para cá. Também nunca consegui entender nada disso. Só lembro desses nomes muito parecidos: Charmeleon, Charmander, Char não sei o que mais.
Lembrou mesmo.
Charmoso.
Honestly, I'm impressed that he got some right, and I don't know where this came from or if it was ever a widespread notion, but we definitely believed that if the fire on the tail of a Charmeleon or a Charizard went out, that they would de-evolve. That it would only die if it was the fire on a Charmander's tail that went out. And my dad somehow retained some kind of memory of that.
O que eu ia falar também, que a outra coisa que tinha, era Eevee, que podia ser 3 diferentes.
Podia ser vários, depois ainda veio o Umbreon, não é? E o Espion.
Júlia é uma biblioteca.
Eu gostava de
Pokémon.
Pokédex que chama.
Tô impressionada. Você sabia disso, Danilo? Dá sua
descobrindo um lado.
É que vocês ficaram falando os nomes dos Pokémons, aí eu me lembrei aqui que eu e seu pai, a gente ficava se divertindo de sacanear vocês com os nomes dos Pokémon.
Os nomes eram claramente incomodados.
They called everything a Pikachu or a Pikamon or a Pika whatever, and I didn't even know until a few years ago that they were trolling. I thought they actually couldn't tell the difference.
A gente se divertia, mas eu não posso dizer que você se divertia com isso.
My youngest sister, Luisa, she was only born in 2002, so she completely missed that first wave of Pokemania, and she was still pretty young when I came to Canada for university, so I was especially curious to know what she could remember.
Então, fica complicado eu compartilhar quando se trata de uma criança de 4 anos que lembra que jogou celular pela janela, e daí não sei muito mais coisa não.
Celular não, telefone sem fio.
Era outra época, Luísa. Né?
Você jogou celular também? Aquele celular que sumiu foi você?
Enfim, o que eu queria dizer, eu não tenho lembrança muito nítida, fora as pequenas coisas que foram mencionadas aqui, como por exemplo, Game Boy que não era Game Boy, qual era o nome desse negócio? O Nintendo, que eu lembro. Eu peguei a caixa pra olhar e eu tive uma epifania, que eu me lembrei de um momento. Essa é uma cena do Pokémon Stadium 2, que aqui na caixa eu não sei se dá pra ver, mas esse é o Steelix, o Pokémon. E por algum motivo eu fiquei numa fissura que se alguém me perguntasse qualquer coisa de Pokémon, eu dizia que o Steelix era meu favorito.
Ah, eu lembro de uma fase.
Eu só falava, Steelix. Eu não lembro de nenhum outro Pokémon, mas eu fixei neles por um total de zero motivos. É um que meio que uma cobra que voa de pedra. E nem pra ser um negócio bonitinho, né? Porque criança vai gostar, por exemplo, de um Jigglypuff, uma coisa toda bonitinha, não. Silix, um cimento que voa, né? Então, se me perguntarem, eu sei falar 5 Pokémons e um deles vai ser o Silix, por zero motivo. Eu lembro mais depois de você ter saído de casa, que é, por exemplo, quando você veio em 2016, aí você trouxe o seu DS. Aí eu falei, que tem jogo aí de quê, né? Vai ver, eu sei alguma coisa pra jogar. Era tudo Pokémon. Eu falei, nossa, o homem não enjoa mesmo não, né? Aí eu ficava, não tem um Mario Kart, não tem um jogo de cozinha, não, tudo Pokémon, tudo bem. Escolhas. Aí a gente indo te visitar no Canadá. Ai, João, tem o que de jogo? Tem Pokémon, Luísa. Aí eu, tudo bem. É uma fase, vai passar. E aí depois a gente recebe a notícia. Vou fazer um canal. Canal de quê, João? Você me pergunta. Não preciso nem responder. Canal de Pokémon. Eu falei, o homem tem a paixão dele.
That I do. And to finish off, I asked them what they think attracted me to Pokemon that was different from everyone else. Everyone my age had some degree of Pokemania, so what was it about me and my interests that they thought let Pokemon hook me so strongly?
Acho que essa é a pergunta que não quer calar.
Eu acho que essa é uma pergunta que a gente tem que fazer a você.
Well, I can tell you what I like about it now, or the parts that I'm nostalgic about, but my memory isn't that great.
No one's is, apparently.
One thing that like sticks out to me is the fact that you weren't like a video game kid per se. Like you didn't have all these other games that you were addicted to and like wanted to own. You didn't play Mario Kart really, like you didn't play, I don't know what other games there are. Like even Zelda, like you got into that at a much older age. And it was like Pokemon, like that was your thing.
You definitely liked doing things on your own, right? You were never the most social kid, right? I mean, you had a close group of friends, you had your sisters, right? But you liked being on your own. I think it's the same kind of thing that the books do to you. You know, you were always into books. I think this whole fantasy world thing, you know, I think Pokemon opened a door to a fantasy world as much as a Harry Potter book would, you know. I think that's what it was.
Obviamente, a sua afinidade com a criação de monstros mistos de bichos, essa coisa mais imaginária. Você já tinha, né, esses desenhos, você criava esses bichos assim meio, como eu vou dizer, meio híbridos.
Even if they didn't look like Pokemon, like you would draw like maybe an animal, but maybe like a falcon that has a something else body or something like that. That's what I remember most.
And yeah, because that's the other thing maybe that connects to Pokemon. I think you always had a thing for mythological figures and mythology in general. And I think this helps with the idea of blending animals together and that.
Eu acho que a coisa da evolução dos bichos também te atraía muito.
That's the other thing that I would say. You always had a thing for science. And I think Pokemon uses that a lot. Right? Like it's very scientific in the way things happen and you gain energy and you evolve and there's this and there's a lot of things that are taken into
professors with cloaks, like with coats, like lab coats.
Right? Yeah, that must have been part of it too.
Você tem um quê de puxar o meu pai, que gosta de uma coisa, fica com aquela coisa. Vai torcer pro Fluminense dos 5 anos até, sei lá, 0 anos até agora.
Não vai virar flamenguista.
Nunca. É uma lealdade.
Yeah, all of that makes sense. And I wonder if the collection aspect was big too.
I don't know, because I I'm trying to think of other things that you collected.
Rocks?
And okay. So yeah, so maybe, yeah, I guess the collection thing.
When I think of like the collection aspect, I think more of the cards than of the games, because there weren't like that. You didn't have that much like memorabilia or like. Now that I think of it, Jean, you didn't have all of the games. Like I remember it was a thing. It was like too expensive to have like the silver and the gold, so you would have like one of them or something like that. But I feel like with the cards you did like and have them. Like I feel like it didn't last very long, maybe like your relationship with the card game. But oh, maybe I'm wrong. You looked. I was like, he's gonna bring out his binder, like. Whoops!
Well, I don't collect them nearly as much as I used to, but I do still have them all.
O homem tem a paixão dele, mas nem me venha, que eu já fiz merchan do seu canal, já fiz propaganda, amigo meu te segue, então assim, juro, aí um amigo, pô, teu irmão é mó maneiro, fica lá fazendo vídeo, bacana, né?
O João já tá até pensando em fazer doutorado em Pokémon.
Well, I did that series on breeding and genetics. That was a lot of independent research. Maybe that counts?
I don't know if I told you, but I have one of my former students, like much younger than you guys, right? You wouldn't have met him. He actually really enjoyed, like he was really surprised that when you put the video out with me, like talking about the biology thing, and he's super into Pokemon and he loved the videos and he signed up for your YouTube channel. And he actually made a point of letting me know, you know, like, and I watched the 2 videos and I signed up for the channel.
This is a great moment to remind people, if you're not subscribed yet, you can click over here.
Thank you for watching. I would really love to hear your memories of Pokemon in your childhood and how Pokemon shaped you. And if you feel up for it, you should make a video like this. Whether it's in this kind of interview format that I did, or if it's just you talking about your memories, or any other kind of format that you want, please do it, and make sure to use the hashtag Pokemon Home for the holidays. Oh, and thanks Gatorex for coming up with that brilliant tag name. I know that he, and hopefully a few other people, are also making videos like this. I don't know if any of them will be out before this video, but either way, I will make a playlist and include every video that has the Pokemon Home for the Holidays hashtag, and include a link to that in the description and in the end card. Thank you to my family for being in this video. Dulce, Luiz, Marise, Clara, Júlia, Luísa, muito obrigado por participar. Fiquei muito feliz de poder conversar com vocês sobre isso e lembrar tanta coisa importante da nossa infância. Obrigado também ao Danilo, que ajudou ali com a cinematografia da conversa com a família do meu pai. Thank you also to my friend Marcy. Marcy is the only friend that I had back in the 4th grade in the height of Pokemania that I'm still in touch with to this day. But we actually hadn't spoken like out loud in over 10 years until we talked for this video. But unfortunately, the universe was against us and I had some technical difficulties and everything that we recorded was unusable. And thank you, finally, to everyone who watches, comments, subscribes, who makes super chat donations, and of course, to all of my patrons, especially luxury patron Ethan from Chicago. I love you all. I'll see you in the next year. Happy holidays.